What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel on nootropics and a lot of other stuff. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications of when our videos come out. There's a lot of you subscribe to the channel, but I don't think a lot of you get notified when videos come out. So hit that bell to make sure that you get notified each time a new video pumps out, because we are back on the content grind. I'm going to answer a couple questions that came through via email, and these are actually all different than one another. Well, somewhat. Some of them are maybe somewhat similar, but they're different topics. And I figured this would kind of be just a good switch up for you guys. I get emails every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year from folks asking biohacking questions, etc. Usually in the range of 5 to 25 emails a day, depending on the day. So I select them and kind of see what I can respond to, and in some cases respond to them on air. In the meantime, go support this broadcast, livecortex.com. With the Cortex stack, powerful, strong, motivation inducing, verbal fluency inducing, mental energy inducing. Nootropic stack, singularly or auto ship. If you're new to Cortex, just do the auto ship option because it gets you Cortex cheaper. And then if you love the stack, there's nothing you have to do. You'll just get it shipped automatically every month to your doorstep at the same price at the same time. If you're new to nootropics, you really have to start with Nootropics Ground Zero. You know, it's a video course that I created for people that are new, to show you the ropes, to save you years of scavenging around the web for how to actually use nootropics correctly. If you're a couple years in, but you want to ascend to the 6-year plus mark, I mean, look, there are distinctions you make at that mark that get you better results. Get the Nootropics Masterclass. If you're a guy that wants to completely revitalize your sexual function, that's EQ, libido, your motivation for the opposite sex or whatever you're into, and that general zest, that mental and visceral libido, get the Male Sexual Rejuvenation Program. It is new. It has been tested. We've got guys on board right now, and we're seeing really, really good results. And then lastly, if you want to work with me on a one-on-one capacity where we're focusing primarily on establishing nootropic formulations and supplement formulations that are targeted toward your brain, making you perform better for the task you have to do. Let's work together. These consults are amazing. It's basically brain engineering, and you can either get on board with 3.5 months or 6 months. Do that at livecortex.com. All right, so the first question here was a guy that is having issues with libido, may end up doing the Male Sexual Rejuvenation Program, but just had some preliminary questions about his supplement regimen. So I had him send me his supplement regimen, and the primary point of this is there were things in his supplement regimen that were causing him to have libido issues. So he sent me this huge, long, exhaustive list of stuff that he's taking. And on it, by the way, is Zembrin. Zembrin is, for all intents and purposes, a mild SSRI. That alone, right? So there were some of the things that we had to remove from, that I suggested he remove from his regimen, but that may be fussing with sexual function. But Zembrin, right? Keeping serotonin around in the synapses longer than it should be is definitely going to mess with sexual function if you're a guy. I mean, that's part of the reason guys that take SSRIs end up with sexual dysfunction, because of having all that synaptic serotonin around. Zembrin was doing that in this person's particular case. There were a lot of other compounds. He gave me a list of about 15 compounds that he was taking. We removed 10 of them, and it was just a matter of like the rest of them, you know, should they stay in the mix? Can they stay in the mix? You know, etc. Ultimately, depression was the overarching issue that this person was dealing with that caused them to take these supplements. So what's the point? The major point is we removed Zembrin, you know, which was this basically serotonin reuptake inhibitor that was keeping serotonin around and fussing with the serotonin dopamine cascades. It's really a control system on the serotonin side. And that alone should get this person closer. If you're watching, James, do the Male Sexual Rejuvenation Program with me, because there's a whole lot more to it. But that was the first email that came through. And the major point is, yeah, look, people end up on supplement regimens, and there's like 15 to 20 things in there, and then they end up, you know, having some sort of physiological issue, whether sexual function or brain performance or a sleep problem or anxiety or something. And they're attributing it to natural flow of the universe. It's really their supplement regimen and stuff in their supplement regimen. Like, look, supplements can definitely have a negative effect on you. And there's plenty of people out there that are taking things that they don't need to take and that they actually shouldn't take. So that's point number one, and that was kind of interesting email number one. Interesting email number two came from a software engineer who, I'll just read you the email. He goes, "Hey Ryan, I love your work and I've been following Cortex Labs videos for 5 years. Wow, brother, you have been around for a long time. Almost the duration of us putting out content. Thank you so much for following the content for that long. I've gotten into a routine of taking a couple stacks that I really like. And for some reason, over the course of the last couple months, they have waned in efficacy, and I can't get them to work like they originally did. I had to email him back and say, okay, just tell me what you're taking. Turns out he was taking basically a couple formulations or random combinations of aniracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, and citicoline. Okay, so what's wrong with this person's situation and why are the stacks losing efficacy? As you can imagine, there's only 4 chemicals in his supplement regimen. There's only 4, and they're the same chemicals, and he's repeatedly using them. So folks, if I haven't made this clear, yes, you are going to have a loss of efficacy in your nootropic stacks if that's the way that you're putting them together. There's just no way around that. You have to diversify them. That's why when we work with people on a one-on-one basis, business folks, we're establishing 25 to 40 stacks. I mean, it runs the gamut, whatever we need. And they're all targeting different systems. And we have an ERS, which we're going to get into in the Nootropics course that we talked about in a video some time ago. If you want to go YouTube search ERS or effective rotation schedule on nootropics, you need that, but you can't be reliant on 4 compounds. I mean, this guy's stacks were like 700 aniracetam, some citicoline, and then 250 phenylpiracetam, some citicoline, right? Then some oxiracetam, citicoline. It's just nothing else in there was, on days off of that, contributing to good brain performance. It's like he just didn't have enough tools in the arsenal or the strategy or instruction on how to use the 50, let's call it, other chemicals that we all have at our disposal to make our brains perform better. One of the things we'll talk about in the Nootropics course, and that is really important when using nootropics long term, is like on a Monday through Friday kind of time dynamic. Like your Monday stack can be cholinergic, but Tuesday should be like adenosine antagonist centered and energy centered. Wednesday should be dopamine release agent centered. Thursday you can circle back to the cholinergics, but in a different way. And then maybe Friday take a non-neurotransmitter modifying stack, or maybe something that is along the lines of non-neurotransmitter modifying, ALA, NAC, things of this nature, but somewhat fusses with neurotransmitters, but not heavily, something like Alcar. So that's why this person is running into that particular situation. We ended up doing a one-off kind of sort of stack formulation consult. It was what the guy could afford. And I had created for him 20 different stacks and then strategies for adjustment on those stacks when he starts taking them to see how they affect him. You need that many. I mean, you need at least 20 stacks to be cycling between, over the course of your time. Call it a 30-day period, right? Because you should be taking weekends off. Okay, last email that came through is, what is the appropriate dose or teaspoon, tablespoon administration of Sustanch for testosterone and sexual performance as a guy? That's a good question. I would say first, Sustanch is not the only thing you should have in your regimen if you're trying to improve testosterone as a guy. I mean, there's a lot of other things that you need to be doing to make adequate tests. Sustanch is not the only one, but if you're using Sustanch for test, what you should be doing is dosing a teaspoon of it in the morning. Okay, so like right when you wake up and with your morning supplement regimen, or after breakfast or something, right around that time frame, a teaspoon in water and then drink it. That's it. Importantly though, if you're going to be dosing Sustanch, you should be taking it twice a day. And you should be taking another level teaspoon, not a heaping teaspoon, but a level teaspoon at nighttime, 7-8 p.m. or so. Drink it down with water. But if you're going to keep your strategy very singular, because this guy didn't mention anything else that he was taking and pretty much made it clear that he was just trying to use Sustanch for testosterone, at the very very least, get an infrared red light and shine it on the reproductive area for 15 minutes a night. Do this every night. I mean, if you skip a day, that's fine, but you need to be doing this like every night. The success that I had on the VTP with guys, that was a big part of the VTP, was red light therapy. we had them doing it every night. Like you kind of can't miss a night, and you got to do a lot of it, because think about it. What you're doing with photobiomodulation is you're trying to repair cellular function via optimizing energy profile in mitochondria of testicular cells, Leydig cells, etc. Every cell that's responsible for making you make testosterone. So it's a process that kind of has to be ongoing, and you really have to hit it hard. Okay, so on the Sustaunch side, a teaspoon in the morning with water, drink it down, 7, 8 p.m., another teaspoon. Level teaspoon, doesn't have to be heaping. Okay, that's really how you get the most benefit out of Sustaunch, which is basically making you make more test via upregulating some of the enzymes that are responsible for producing testosterone that reside in the testicles. Hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Look, I probably have 1,000 emails of topics that I can discuss on this channel. And yeah, maybe I'll do more of these, because emails kind of come through every day and they give me topics to talk about. It's been fun being with you. Thank you for being with me. Podcasts launching soon. I think we're doing episode 139 or 140 coming up. That'll be launching the next couple of days, so look forward to that. Nootropics course, look forward to that. It's done. It just has to be edited at this point. So that is going to be a majorly data-rich, stack-rich, strategy-rich course. In the meantime, go support us. Cortex Stack, livecortex.com. Nootropics Ground Zero, if you're new, gotta start there. Nootropics Masterclass, if you want to ascend the 6-year mark. Male Sexual Rejuvenation Program, if you're a guy that doesn't have EQ and libido like you'd want it, and the zest for sex, and the performance, and you want to fully optimize that system. I mean, we hit what is missing in every one of those programs, which is the neurotransmitter side, and some really high level diet stuff that basically no one is talking about, and no one has even proposed the idea that it's effective when trying to optimize male sexual performance. The diet side's really important, and it isn't just cholesterol, bros. Get that at livecortex.com. And lastly, look, if you're a professional business person and need brain performance at the level that you either had 10 years ago or that you really idealize is good for you, let's work together. I mean, these consults are so fun and so awesome, and the kind of brain performance results you can get working with me, somebody who's been doing this for 15 years and consulting people for 7. You know, I usually get the call from like the Wells Fargo exec when he used to function like at peak efficiency or something 10 years ago, and it's why he is where he is, but he's lost that in the last 2 years. Who wants to get it back? To everybody else in between, software engineers, accountants, entrepreneurs, business people, folks that want to function awesomely. 3.5 months or 6 months, do it at livecortex.com. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Talk to you next time.